evening, basketball fans, and welcome to tonight's presentation from the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network of the 1972-73 Epic Basketball League here from the Dave Cave. This is Dave Little coming to you live, and we have got action between two of the most exciting players in the league as Pistol Pete Maravich and the Atlanta Hawks play host to Nate Archibald and the Kansas City-OMAHA Kings. We are here in the 1972-73 Epic Basketball League season. On the screen you see the current standings. And as you know, if you have watched this league before, this is a promotion and relegation league in three divisions: gold, silver, and bronze. And at the end of each 20-game season, the top two teams from bronze and silver move up to silver and gold, respectively. And the bottom two teams from the higher two divisions get relegated downwards by a division. And as we can see in the gold division, that's the division you want to be in, because the playoffs begin in the bronze and work through the silver and work through the gold. So if you're down in the bronze division, you've got two extra tiers of playoffs to get through to get to the championship rounds. So everybody wants to be in the gold division, and it is the Golden State Warriors who own the gold division at the moment with a record of 10-2, looking at the top overall seed in the playoffs at the conclusion of the 20-game season, with the LA Lakers right on their heels. What is interesting in the gold division is that the New York Knicks, who actually won the NBA title in 72-73, have limped out of the gate to a 4-8 start, and they are in danger of relegation. So we'll see what they can do. Then when you look at the silver division, that's where we are playing tonight. Phoenix is owning the silver division. Charlie Scott is playing out of his mind. Number 4 in the league at 25.4 points per game, and he is owning it. And he has got the Suns off to an 11-1 start, and they are looking like they are going to be headed to the gold division for 73-74. The two teams we're looking at tonight, the Atlanta Hawks and the Kansas City-OMAHA Kings, are both in the mix. Those four teams in the middle, Atlanta, Philadelphia, KC, and Detroit, any of them could claim the number 2 spot in the silver division and a chance to move up and get promoted at the end of the season. So not only are we going to see some exciting ball players tonight, but this game also has implications for the league promotion at the end of the season. And when we talk about excitement, we are definitely talking about Nate Archibald, leading the league in scoring and assists, which is true to his form in 72-73 when he led the league in scoring and assists. And he is about the only good thing that KC Omaha has going for them. Whereas the Hawks have two players in the top 10 in scoring. Sweet Lou Hudson is in at 24.9 points per game. And the aforementioned Pete Maravich is number 10 in scoring at 23.5 points per game. He's also in the top 10 in assists at 8.1 and steals at 3.4 per game. So these two young point guards are going to do battle here mano a mano in Atlanta at the Omni Coliseum. Let's go ahead and get things started. As we check out the games, we are at December 8th in the simulated league schedule. This is a 20-game league. We will hide the scores behind the ticker, and we will set the Kansas City-OMAHA Atlanta game as the manually played game tonight, and we'll go ahead and play all the other games of the evening here in quick play fashion. Now, somewhere in this Action PC basketball sports software, there is a feature that allows you to see the scores of the other games. I haven't quite figured that out yet tonight. Maybe we will get to that. at some point along the way. And now we are set to go for tonight's contest. There is no line on this game. We are in the Omni Coliseum in Atlanta, getting ready to kick things off with action from the Epic Basketball League. Just want to check a few of the settings here before we get started. All right. And last but not least, we will hide the taskbar just in case Dave Gardner comes in. He always seems to like it better when the taskbar is automatically hidden, so we will do that. And now I believe we are ready to get started. And as we get started, we will take a look at tonight's starting lineups for the Kings. Oh my goodness, is that loud? That's better. For the Kings, starting things off at the point guard, of course, is Nate Archibald. What an exciting player he is. Second-year man out of Texas, El Paso. And in 72-73, he was indeed first team All-NBA. He is joined in the backcourt by the veteran Matt Gukas, 7 years out of St. Joseph. At the small forward is jumping Johnny Green, 14 years out of Michigan State and still going strong. The power forward is Nate Williams, 2 years out of Utah State, also a double-digit scorer in the 72-73 season for Kansas City at 11.8 points per game. And the big man inside is Sam Lacey, 13.5 points, 11.8 rebounds per game. And not on the floor tonight for Kansas City-Omaha is the veteran shooting guard Tom Van Arsdale. He must be off with an injury or some such. So that is your starting lineup for Kansas City-Omaha. For the Hawks, of course, pistol PETE Maravich, 3 years experience out of LSU. Second team All-NBA behind Archibald in the 72-73 season. And he is joined in the backcourt by Herm Gilliam, 4 years out of Purdue. 14 points per game and also 6.3 assists per game. So these Atlanta Hawks knew how to move the ball. High-scoring Lou Hudson, Sweet Lou, 7th year out of Minnesota, is at the small forward position. Inside is Big Jim Washington, 6'7", 215 out of Villanova. And the center, the legendary Walt Bellamy out of Indiana, 12 years experience, 16 points a game, and 13.0 rebounds per game in the NBA season. Good enough for 8th in the league. So here we go, and we are ready to tip things off here in Atlanta. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ball game as the opening tip-off is in the air, and it is controlled by the Hawks, moving from left to right on your computer screen. The home team gets the ball quickly into Walt Bellamy, working down low against Sam Lacey. This will be a good matchup tonight. Bellamy inside, puts up the short jump shot. It comes off the rim, high into the air. No good. Bellamy gets his own rebound. Bellamy on the putback attempt is hammered by Green.
Foul is on Green. First personal.
So Johnny Green commits the foul. They're going to call that a loose ball foul on the floor. It'll be a side out for the Hawks. Washington to inbound. And as he tosses it in, he tosses it out to Maravich, back down to Washington on the low block where he's working against Nate Williams. His layup is off the board and he missed it. But Bellamy taps it up and good for the first basket of the night. Back the other way comes Nate Archibald and the Kings with their first opportunity of the evening. They get it over to Matty Gukas on the wing. Gukas back to Nate Williams with the baseline jump shot. That is up no good. And it is Washington, Jim Washington with the rebound for Atlanta. Maravich thought about running the break, but the Kings get back on defense, and Maravich is forced to pull the ball back and restart the offense. Once again, he is going to look for an open teammate. He finds Hudson working into the paint now against Johnny Green. Hudson in traffic. Dribbles to his left hand, gets to the left side of the rim. His shot is off the backboard, up and no good, but he is fouled by Green. That is going to put Hudson to the free throw line, and that's already 2 fouls on Johnny Green. We'll probably see him taken out of the ball game here after Hudson puts up the first free throw. The first shot by Hudson is good.
Hudson made the free throw.
And with that, the buzzer sounds, and into the game comes the veteran Don Kojis to play the small forward position, a 10th-year man out of Marquette. Second free throw by Hudson is good. And the Hawks have taken the early 4-0 lead. Archibald brings the Kings back down the other way. The pass goes inside to Lacey. Lacey with a short jumper over Lou Hudson on the mismatch. He cannot get that to go. And Walt Bellamy takes his third rebound of the night for Atlanta. Hawks coming back the other way. The ball's in the hands of Gilliam. He's on the wing, defended by Kojis. From 15 feet out, Gilliam is off target. And Sam Lacey takes the rebound for the Kings. Kings back to the offensive end. Again, they go inside to Nate Williams, this time working in the paint. Takes it down the baseline and travels. First turnover of the ball game committed by the Kings. Atlanta with the basketball now in a 4-0 lead. Hawks set up the offense. They get it into the hands of Gilliam, guarded tightly by Matty Gukas. Gilliam is going to try and step into the lane. He dishes it out to Bellamy. Bellamy backing down, has it knocked away. Off the leg of Bellamy and out of bounds. Ball goes over to Kansas City as we say hello to Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming. Fine game developer and fine gentleman here in the chat room tonight. Welcome to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. Kansas City Kings now on the basketball. Still looking for their first points of the night. As Archibald sets up the offense. He's going to call his own number this time. His shot from 15 feet out is way offline. Out of bounds. Ball goes back over to Atlanta. As Maravich sets up the Hawks on the offensive end. The pass goes inside to Walt Bellamy. Working down low against Lacey. Bellamy off glass, up and good. 4 points now for Walt Bellamy. Atlanta goes up 6-0. Archibald with it out on top. Finds Kojis. Not a good pass. Knocked away. Out of bounds. Ball will go to Atlanta. Archibald got a little too fancy on that possession, and it cost his team another turnover. Kings still looking for their first points of the night. As Atlanta now comes back the other way, they dump it inside to Bellamy again. Working hard down low on the block tonight. Turns and shoots over Lacey and scores again. Bellamy off to a quick start with 6 points. Atlanta already up 8-0. Here's Archibald the other way. Working on Maravich. Tries to get into the lane. It's knocked away and stolen by Gilliam. Archibald off to a tough start here tonight in Atlanta. Can the Hawks take advantage yet again? Now they've got it outside to Lou Hudson. And the jump shot by Hudson is offline, no good. Rims around, but he is fouled on the shot by Kojis. And that will send Sweet Lou Hudson to the line for a pair of free throws. As we say hello to Philip Reynolds in the chat room tonight. And Bleacher Bums Gaming is chilling in the jacuzzi. It's like listening to a radio broadcast. Thank you for your kind words here tonight, Anthony. The first shot by Hudson rolls around and out as he sets himself and tees up the second free throw. This one is good, and the Hawks go up 9-0. My goodness, it is a rough start indeed for the Kansas City Kings. Let's see if they can get something going on this possession. Archibald with it out on top. Now they're going to send it in down low to Lacey. Lacey working on the low block, has it knocked away and out of bounds. Kings will keep possession with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Archibald with it, top of the key. Fakes left, dribbles right, and travels. 4 turnovers already in the first 4 minutes of action for the Kings. And that is not what Kansas City head coach Bob Cousy was hoping to achieve here tonight in Atlanta. Hawks setting up the offense now, looking to take a double-digit lead as Gilliam has it on the outside. Gilliam pulls the trigger from out there and buries it. Gilliam has 2 points now on the night, and the Hawks are up 11-0. As we say hello to Highlight Heyday, an Al Red Sox fan in the chat room. Thank you guys for coming out tonight as we are back in action with Epic Basketball League competition. Although calling this game competition is a bit of a stretch, considering that it is an 11-0 ball game. Kansas City still working hard. They get it inside to Nate Williams, and finally Williams goes to the left hand, off glass and good, finally silencing the Atlanta crowd as the Kings score their first basket of the night. Hawks now with the basketball and an 11-2 lead as Maravich looks to trigger the offense. He's going to call his own number from deep in the half-court set. His 15-footer is no good, and Sam Lacey takes the rebound for Kansas City. Archibald with it on the outside, guarded by Maravich. This time he's going to pop an outside jump shot, and he buries it for his first basket of the night. 2 points now for the league's leading scorer, Nate Archibald. And it is an 11-4 ball game. Here's Gilliam coming back the other way, working on Gukas. Gukas, a good outside defender. Gilliam's going to take the outside jump shot, and it is good. And he is hammered by Gukas.
Herm Gilliam scores.
So Herm Gilliam with the basket and the foul, and a chance for a 3-point play as the Hawks once again look to expand to a double-digit lead. The shot by Gilliam is good. And with 7.5 minutes to play in the first quarter, it is a 10-point lead, 14-4, in favor of the home team Hawks. Archibald sets up the offense and dumps it down to Nate Williams once again. Williams in the land of the Giants, backing down. The defense collapses on him, and he's called for a 3-second violation. That is now 5 turnovers on the game for the Kings. More turnovers than points is not a formula for victory. 7 minutes to play here in the first. Atlanta now up 14-4 as Maravich with the ball outside. Knifes his way through the lane, has it picked away and stolen by Archibald. Nice looking defensive play by tiny Nate Archibald as he brings the Kings back to the offensive side. And we've got a little bit of a stoppage in play as Don Kojis is flexing and extending his left arm, but action will continue. The ball goes back out on top to Archibald. He dumps it down to Lacey inside on the pick and roll. The Lacey jump shot is good. And Archibald has picked up his first assist of the night. 14-6 now is your score. Just about to the midway point of period number 1. As the Hawks come back on offense and they find Hudson open on the wing. Long jump shot by Hudson is on target, but a little too deep. Ball bounces high off of the back iron and is taken down by Gilliam, who throws it back out to Maravich to reset the offense. Hawks back on the offense. Bellamy has it out on the baseline. He is not a baseline shooter. He's going to try and dump it into Hudson. They get it to Hudson down low. Back out to Bellamy. And the pass to Bellamy is behind him and out of bounds for the turnover. Ball goes back over to the Kings. Kings still trail by 8. 6:13 to play in the first quarter. Kings running the 1-4 set with Archibald on the point. They get it to Kogis on the baseline. He's got some room to operate on a screen, but his shot is blocked by Bellamy. The rebound is taken down by Maravich. Maravich comes down out of the crowd with it and takes it back the other way for the Hawks. The Hawks set up the offense. Once again, it is Hudson who will pull the trigger, try to pull the trigger, but he is fouled on the perimeter by Kogis. That's going to put Atlanta into the bonus, and that is 2 fouls on Don Kogis. So now we've got 2 members of the Hawks backcourt in trouble with fouls. Hudson knocks down the first free throw. And now we are going to get Sam Seibert into the game, a rookie out of Kentucky State, 6'7", 215. He was the second-round draft pick of the Hawks, number 19 overall. For the Kings. Drafted in the second round, number 19 overall, and coming into the ball game for the first time with both Don Kogis and Johnny Green ahead of him in foul trouble. The second shot by Hudson is good. Atlanta goes back out on top by 10, 16-6. As things are not off to a good start here for Bob Cousy and the Kansas City-Omaha Kings. Here's Archibald on the outside. Drives it into the basket. Dumps it off to Seibert. Gets it back, lays it up, and good. Seibert with the basket on the inside. Give it a clock. Gilliam is going to pull the trigger from the wing. Has the ball batted away. The ball goes out of play. Atlanta will retain possession, but they've only got 1 second on the shot clock, so who knows what they're going to be able to come up with here. We'll let the CPU decide this one. Maravich pops from 15 feet, leaves it short, and Seibert takes the rebound for Kansas City. Now the Kings want to run. It's 2-on-2 going the other way with Nate Archibald, the fastest man in the league, leading the break. He dribbles down the center of the court, steps around Gilliam. His layup is no good. The rebound is taken by Nate Williams. Williams with the putback attempt. And that's no good. Off the side of the rim. Sam Lacey hustling back to get another offensive board for the Kings. The putback attempt by Lacey. He's got it knocked away and stolen by Gilliam. And now we've got a rumor of the stream being frozen for Bleacher Bums Gaming. Anybody else having that? Okay, and we're back. Says Bleacher Bums Gaming. Thank you for the warning there. While you were away, there was a fast break opportunity for the Kings. They couldn't convert on the layup and a couple of putback attempts. And now we will go to return to action with Atlanta having numbers in transition. Pistol Pete Maravich is leading the 4-on-3 for Atlanta the other way. He gives it over to Hudson on the right side. Hudson goes to take the shot and actually lobs a pass down to Gilliam on the baseline after the fake shot. And Gilliam is called for the offensive foul. So with 5 minutes to play in the first period, we have our first substitution of the game, not related to foul trouble. As into the game comes Ron Riley, another rookie, 6'8", 200 pounds out of USC, into the game for the Kings. Hawks staying with their starting 5 at this juncture, as Atlanta still leads by 8. Archibald out on top, being denied by Maravich. What's he going to do? He gets the basketball anyways. He's got Maravich right up in his shorts. He steps around Maravich, drives it to the hole, lays it up, and has it blocked by Bellamy. Good-looking defense by the veteran Bellamy coming over. And Jim Washington snags the rebound for the Hawks. And the Kings once again are denied on the offensive end. Inside they go to Bellamy. He takes the short baseline jump shot. That rims around and out. And on the rebound, we have got a loose ball foul, and that will be charged against Bellamy. And that will return the basketball to Kansas City going the other way. Kings will set up the offense. Inside they go to Lacey. Lacey working on Bellamy inside. Lacey turns, shoots, and scores. 4 points on the night to go with 4 rebounds for Sam Lacey. As Kansas City pulls to within 6, 16-10, as we have reached the 4-minute mark to play in the first period. Atlanta back on offense. Inside they go to Washington. Double pumps, shoots, and scores.
Jim Washington.
First basket of the night for Jim Washington. Puts Atlanta back out on top by 8. Kansas City coming back. Archibald has the basketball out on top. Calls his own number, shoots from the top of the key, and drains it. Nice looking jump shot. Fakes the pass to get Maravich out of his way. And buried the jumper to pull Kansas City back to within. It is 18-12 now as Maravich comes back and shoots a fadeaway. That's no good. Rebound taken for Kansas City by Ron Riley. Quick outlet to Archibald. The Kings want to run. It's 3-on-2 headed the other way. Archibald dribbles down the center of the court, drops it to Seibert. Seibert lays it home.
Seibert.
And that brings Kansas City back to within 4, as close as this game has been in a while. I think it was 7-0, so that's as close as we've seen it here tonight. Actually, it was 11-0 if I recall correctly, and Kansas City since then has gone on a 14-7 run to make this once again a ball game. Here's Maravich setting up the offense for the Hawks, dribbling into the lane. Cut off by Lacey. His short jump shot is no good. And the rebound is taken down by Lacey for Kansas City. And once again, the Kings want to run. They love this open court. Gukas now has it on the wing. Cross courts it to Seibert once again. Seibert drives baseline and lays it home.
Seibert.
Seibert with 6 quick points off the bench has pulled Kansas City to within 2. We've hit the 3-minute mark to play here in the first quarter, as the Atlanta Hawks have been in a scoring drought here. They look inside to Bellamy. Bellamy working on Riley inside. His little jump shot falls short. Gilliam takes the rebound for Atlanta, and Gilliam's going to pass it back out to the top of the key to reset the offense. Around the horn goes the ball for Atlanta. Gilliam to Maravich. Maravich tries to get it into Hudson. It's knocked away and out of bounds. Atlanta retains possession with, that is, they're going to call that one to Kansas City-Omaha. A little controversy on the play as the first referee called Atlanta basketball. He was corrected by the trailer, and the ball goes back over to Kansas City with an opportunity to tie the ball game. As we say hello to Danny and Gray's Cards and Toys, it is a privilege to have you here in the chat tonight, Sir Danny. Good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year. Hope all is well. Kansas City now trailing by 2 as they are on the comeback trail. And setting up the offense once again. Archibald has it out on top, defended by Maravich. And this time it is Maravich who forces the turnover. And Atlanta regains possession. It has been a sloppy first quarter for both these teams. 7 turnovers for the Kings, 5 Atlanta. And now we've got John Wetzel coming into the game for the first time for Atlanta to play the shooting guard role. 6 years out of Virginia Tech is Wetzel. Atlanta basketball leading by 2. 2.5 minutes to play in the first period. And the basketball is once again in the hands of Maravich, guarded by, now into the game, Dick Gibbs for the first time, as he has come in to play the shooting guard position for Kansas City. Maravich against Gibbs is going to call his own number. His 15-footer from the perimeter is offline, and it is Seibert on the rebound for Kansas City. Boy, Seibert with 6 points, 2 rebounds in limited action off the bench, as he has sparked the Kings' comeback. Archibald with it out on top. Sends it into Riley on the post. Riley on the inside with the turnaround jump shot. That's offline. Bellamy rebounds for Atlanta. Now the Hawks want to go 3-on-3 the other way. Maravich with Hudson and Wetzel on the wings. Maravich dribbles down the center of the court. Steps to his right, lays it up and good.
Pistol Pete.
Coast to coast for Maravich. Faked the pass, got to the lane, laid it up and good. And with under 2 minutes to play now in the first quarter, it is Atlanta on top by 4. 20-16 is your score. The pass goes inside to Ratliff in the game for the Kings. His first shot of the game is up and no good, and a one-handed rebound by Pete Maravich, showing off on the miss by Mike Ratliff. Here comes Atlanta 2-on-2 the other way. Pushing the tempo is Maravich. Maravich with Hudson. Hudson on the left. Drops it back into Maravich. Maravich lays it up and good.
Pete Maravich.
So Atlanta has responded with a little run of their own. 4 in a row for the Hawks. Pushes the lead back to 6. Kings look inside again to Riley as the second units go at it. Riley over Washington, shoots and scores. First basket of the night for the rookie out of USC. Brings it back to a 4-point game, 22-18. Now Atlanta comes back and gets it inside to Washington. Big Jim Washington down low working on the rookie. Shoots and scores.
Jim Washington.
So the veteran Washington takes the rookie to school. Atlanta back on top by 6. 24-18 is your score as we've entered the final minute of play here in the first quarter. Archibald's got it out on top. Working on Maravich. Archibald has the ball on the outside, wants to call his own number. Maravich denies him the shot opportunity. He tries to get it over to Seibert, and it is lost out of bounds for yet another turnover on the Kings. And now we have a battalion of substitutions for the Kings, a whole platoon's worth of guys coming in, and a fresh 5 for Atlanta as well, with just 44 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Out on top, it is Trapp. Trapp works his way into the paint, working on Nate Williams inside. As the Hawks set up the offense. Trapp from the inside, leans in, shoots and scores.
George Trapp.
George Trapp with his first basket of the game. Trapp, a second-year man out of Long Beach State, putting Atlanta back on top by 8. 26-18 is the lead for the Hawks as Kansas City plays for the final shot of the period. Holding the ball on the outside is Gibbs. Defended by Bracey. Shoots the jump shot with 15 seconds to play. It's no good. Wanted the foul call, didn't get it. Rebound is taken by Gilliam for the Hawks. And Atlanta, with 8 seconds to play, is going to set up for the final shot of the period. They get it down low to Bob Christian, working on Lacey. Christian over to Trapp. Trapp puts up the short jump shot at the buzzer. It's good.
George Trapp. At the end of the first quarter.
And just like that, Atlanta stretches it back out to an 8-point lead as we close up action here in the first period. Let's take a look at the first quarter box score. And as we see, it has been a rough start for Kansas City-Omaha. They are shooting 47% from the field, but those 8 turnovers are huge. Archibald with 4 points, 3 assists, and 5, count them, 5 turnovers. Leading scorer for the Kings off the bench was Seibert, who came in and picked up those 6 quick points and 2 rebounds. Sam Lacey, 4 points and 5 rebounds for the Kings. Over on the Hawks side of the ledger, we have a balanced scoring attack. 1 guy with 6, 2 guys with 5, 3 guys with 4 points. Walt Bellamy leading the way for the Hawks with 6 points and 4 rebounds. And as we take our first quarter break, we will give you a quick update on a question that came in earlier. Philip Reynolds asked, learning any new games, Dave? Boy, I wish I had time for new games, but I have just come off of the off season or the preseason activity in my Stratomatic Basketball League. I do serve as the commissioner of an 18-team current day Stratomatic Basketball Draft League, and that league features a full salary system along with free agency and the draft, which as commissioner eats up about 6 weeks of my life. But it was a fun time indeed. The top free agent signing was Kevin Durant, who signed a contract worth, I believe, $57 million for 7 years. Good, healthy payday for Kevin Durant. Jaylen Brown from the Celtics also picked up a big free agent contract. And in the draft, needless to say, the number 1 overall draft pick was LaMelo Ball, who goes down to the franchise on the Gulf Coast of Texas, where he will join Luka Doncic in what should be a very exciting backcourt combination. My own team picked 4th overall, and we picked Cole Anthony in the 1st round. So a fun time was had in the Midwest Basketball League off-season period with free agency and drafting, which has precluded me of picking up any new games. I do have a little payoff pitch project going on the side, and of course my first love, which is Heartland Championship Wrestling, and we'll give you a full recap of Heartland Championship Wrestling action at halftime. As Dave Gardner comes into the chat room and says B-ball, and we are indeed ready to get back into B-ball, as it is the beginning of the 2nd quarter with the Atlanta Hawks on top of the Kansas City-Omaha Kings by a score of 28-18. Kings off to a rough start with the turnover problems. And as the 2nd quarter gets underway, the Hawks control the tip once again and set up the offense, moving from left to right. Maravich running the point. They've got the 1-4 stack offense going as Maravich is isolated against Archibald. Maravich is going to try and get into the lane. This has not been a good decision for either of these teams. As Maravich barrels into Archibald, no call. Maravich puts up the layup with 2 hands and converts. Nate Archibald not happy about that, as he thought that was a charge. But Atlanta now is back on top by 12. That's their biggest lead in the ballgame. For those of you just joining us, the Hawks shot out to an 11-0 lead at the beginning of the contest. Kansas City worked their way back to within 2. Atlanta has since then gone on a scoring run, about a 12-2 run to pull out to a 12-point lead here opening period number 2. As Nate Archibald and the Kings try to find a way to solve this Atlanta defense. They're going to look inside to the rookie Ron Riley. Riley on the low block puts it up strong over Jim Washington and gets it to go. Give another assist to Archibald on that basket. It's back to a 10-point game. Hawks on the basketball. They're going to look inside to Jim Washington. Washington continues to battle it out with the rookie Riley. Washington not far from the basket, up and under. The layup is off target, no good. But we've got a foul on the play, and that is going to go on Riley. As the rookie bought the pump fake and came crashing down on top of Washington. That veteran move earns Jim Washington 2 free throws. Washington good on the first.
Washington made the free throw.
And the second free throw by Washington is good. He has got 6 points. And the Hawks go back on top by 12. 32-20 is your score. As the Kings look to get something going once again on offense. They've got a mismatch down low as Ron Riley comes off the screen where he's picked up by Maravich. And Riley slams it home. Good offensive set there by the Kings to get Ron Riley an open shot. He now has 6 points for Kansas City-Omaha. And the lead is once again cut to 10. Maravich with it out on top. Tries to get it over to Hudson. It's knocked away out of bounds, and that's a turnover. Kings regain possession. As Archibald sets up the offense, sends it over on the wing to Gukas. Gukas has nobody open. Tries to cross court it to Johnny Green. The ball goes out of bounds to Atlanta. So we're picking right up where we left off in quarter number 2 with both teams mishandling the basketball. Atlanta has it, leading by 10. This time they dump it down once again to Big Jim Washington on the low block. This time he's got it knocked away, out of bounds. Atlanta will keep possession and set something up with 9 to go on the shot clock. He goes in once again to Washington. This time he's got Archibald on his hip. Cannot get the shot to go. And the ball is tapped around and the rebound is knocked out to Hudson on the outside. Hudson tries to go for the putback. It's blocked by Lacey. Out of bounds to Atlanta. So good recovery by Lacey there to block that shot. Atlanta retains possession, and they're going to set it up this time with Hudson on the outside. Hudson with the jump shot. That's no good. Archibald got a piece of that one, and Johnny Green finally grabs the rebound for Kansas City. So the Kings defense stood strong on that possession, and it is now Kansas City with a chance to cut into the lead once again. Archibald dribbles to his left, working on Maravich. Can't find an open teammate. And with 2 on the shot clock, he's got to pull the trigger from 16 feet out. He left it short. And the rebound is taken for Atlanta by Hudson. Kings did their best work when they were able to run in transition in the first quarter. That opportunity has not presented itself yet here in the second. As Atlanta runs the motion offense, they get it to Gilliam on the wing. They find a shot for Gilliam from the wing, and he scores it from 15, and he is fouled on the play by Gukas.
Gilliam scores.
And for the third time tonight, the Hawks have the opportunity to convert a three-point play. Kansas City yet to go to the free throw line. And that has been a sore point with Kansas City coach Bob Cousy, who continues to work the refs from his coach's box on the sideline. Gilliam steps to the line for the three-point play. His shot is off target. The ball is knocked around off the rebound. It's knocked back out to Gilliam, and the Hawks will have a chance to extend the lead yet further. Gilliam with the jump shot from the outside is good, and he is fouled by Lacey.
Gilliam scores.
So Gilliam has a chance now for a 5-point play on this possession, as he has put the Hawks on top by 14. And again misses the free throw. This time Lacey controls the rebound for the Kings. But it is now a 14-point ball game, much to the chagrin of Bob Cousy. The Atlanta coach Cotton Fitzsimmons enjoying his view of the action as his team has a comfortable lead here early in the second period. The ball is in the hands of Gukas. Gukas looking for help. Sends it to Archibald and then down inside to Green. The close-in jump shot by Green is good, and he's fouled by Hudson. And finally,
foul is on Hudson.
For the first time tonight, a member of the Kansas City Kings will step to the free throw line. It's Johnny Green. He is a 68% free throw shooter on the regular season, and he converts the three-point play and pulls Kansas City back to within 11. 36-25 is your score. First 3 points of the night for the starter, Johnny Green, who left the game very early in the first quarter with 2 quick fouls. Atlanta on top by 11 with the basketball. 9 minutes to play before halftime. As the Hawks run a little motion, they get it to Hudson on the baseline, backing down inside against Green. Hudson with the layup is good.
Blue Hudson.
7 points now for Hudson. His last game against Philadelphia, Hudson put up 42 points. And as you know, he is the number 5 scorer in the league overall at 24.9 points per game in this Epic Basketball League season. Kansas City trailing by 13 with the basketball. Gukas has it on the perimeter. Gukas with the jump shot from the wing. It's good. Gukas with his first points of the night. Give another assist to Archibald. He's got 6, and he is your league leader in that category. Atlanta basketball now with Maravich. Maravich and Gilliam working it back and forth out on top. They dump it in down low to Walt Bellamy on the block. Bellamy tries to get it back to Maravich on the point. He throws it away. That's another turnover. Now 9 turnovers for Kansas City, 7 for Atlanta. Kings with the basketball, looking to get back to a single-digit deficit. Inside we go to Nate Williams. And Williams turns left, shoots, and scores. As now Red Sox fan, didn't Bob Cousy come out of retirement and was a player coach? That may have been true, I think, a couple years earlier. I don't know that for sure, but if that was in 72, 73, or if that was earlier on. But that's a great question from our Red Sox fan in the chat. Let's see, down on the other side, we have a jump shot in there by Nate Williams off the assist by Archibald. And it is now a 9-point game, 38-29. Atlanta with the lead and the basketball. Gilliam to inbounds, looking for an open man. And it is deflected out of bounds. And it looks like Atlanta will keep possession. Maravich looking to set up the offense. Gets it to Gilliam on the wing. Gilliam perimeter jump shot is off target. Rebound is knocked around out of bounds. And the officials point the other way. It is the Kings basketball on the miss. As the Kings look to maintain the momentum here and get back into this game. The momentum has gone back and forth. Lacey has it out on the baseline. Not going to accomplish anything there. Tries to get it inside to Nate Williams. Nice pass inside by Williams. Williams cannot convert the layup. And it is Walt Bellamy taking the rebound on the miss for Atlanta. Another possession for the Hawks. And it is Bellamy with a quick outlet to Maravich. Hawks have an opportunity in transition. It's 3-on-3. Bellamy has it, sends it to Maravich. And Maravich is called for the offensive foul. Not the best decision to run with your big center. And Bellamy really set up Maravich to fail with a bad pass. And Maravich runs over Archibald, and he's called for the charge. First foul on Maravich tonight. Kansas City regains possession and sets up the offense with Archibald. Working on the outside against Hudson. Archibald's got a good look at a outside jump shot, and he drills it from 15 feet. Nice looking jump shot out there. Pulls Kansas City back to within 7. 38-31. 6:46 to play, second period. Maravich guarded by Archibald. This time he wants to penetrate. Pick and roll. Comes off the screen from Washington. Gets into the lane, lays it up, and off the rim, no good. Rebound taken off the offensive glass by Bellamy, but Bellamy walks with it. Another turnover. We're at 9 turnovers apiece now. Midway through quarter number 2. Kansas City with the basketball. Trailing by 7. As they run the offensive set, and they've got it with in the hands of Williams on the baseline. Williams not a bad outside shooter. You'd rather have him on the low block. But he's got to look from the baseline, and it's too strong. Cannot get the jump shot to go. Johnny Green inside for the offensive rebound, but he is called for the loose ball foul, and that is his third. And he will have to go back to the bench and be replaced by Don Kogis. 6:22 to play in the second. Atlanta with the basketball leading by 7. 38-31. Inside they go to, outside they go to Maravich. Maravich working on Archibald out there. Doesn't have any real options for a teammate, so he pulls the trigger from 14 feet out and he nails it. As we say hello to the man who stole my nickname, the one and only Smelly Wrestling Geek. So thank you for joining us here tonight, Mr. SWG, and welcome to the Epic Basketball League broadcast. As Dave Gardner's playing some Strat baseball cards and dice. Good for you, Dave. And we'll have an update on Stratomatic baseball at halftime as well. Kansas City and Atlanta locked up here midway through the second period. Kansas City with the basketball and trailing by 9. They get it to Kogis on the outside, where he is guarded closely by Hudson. He doesn't really have any good options on the offensive side, so he's going to put it up from out there. He has it tipped away by Washington, and Washington takes the rebound. Kogis was forced to take an off-balance leaner in the lane. Washington deflected it and took it out of midair. Here's a quick outlet to PETE MARAVICH. Going the other way, Hudson now has it on the right wing as the Hawks run in transition. Hudson sends it back to MARAVICH. MARAVICH goes to the left hand, lays it up, and good. And PETE MARAVICH now the first player in double digits. He's got 10 points. Hawks back out on top by 11. Kansas City back on offense. Archibald sends it over to Gukas, gets it back. He's got an open look now as he comes off the screen. Steps around Washington, sends it over to Gukas. Gukas forces up the jump shot. He airmails it out of play. Basketball goes to Atlanta. And that will bring into the game for the first time Dick Gibbs, second year out of Texas El Paso, joining his teammates in the rotation here as Kansas City sets up the defense against the Hawks attack behind Pistol PETE MARAVICH. Around the horn it goes inside to Bellamy, and Bellamy scores from the paint. Give the assist to Gilliam on that little offensive set. And Atlanta's back out on top by 13, 44-31. Teams seem to be going back and forth with little 5 and 6 point runs, but Atlanta's had the best of it here, and they have a comfortable lead. Archibald looking to make something happen from the outside. Dribble drives into the basket. His layup is no good. And the rebound taken down by Hudson for the Hawks. Kings quickly back on transition defense. The Hawks unable to run with it. Instead, they dump it over to Gilliam on the wing. And Gilliam tries to bounce it into Bellamy. It is kicked out of bounds. And that is another turnover. Siebert back into the game for Kansas City. He gave the Kings a nice little spark in the first quarter. Let's see if he can once again bring the excitement here in quarter number 2. Archibald, guarded by MARAVICH. And travels. Turnover problems continue. We're at 10 turnovers apiece now. 4.5 minutes to play in the second period. The pass goes down low again to Bellamy. Bellamy and Lacey banging bodies in the paint. Shot by Bellamy is no good, but Lacey knocked him down. And that will send Bellamy to the free throw line.
Personal, 15.
Foul number 2 on Lacey. Bellamy only about a 54% free throw shooter, and the first one rolls around and out. Bellamy hits the second, right on target with his average. He's got 9 points now to go with 6 rebounds. And Atlanta is back on top by 14, matching their largest lead of the ballgame. Kansas City now goes to Seibert on the outside, guarded closely by Hudson. Sends it back over to Archibald from the free throw line. His shot is too strong. And the rebound is taken down for Atlanta by Bellamy. 2-on-2 going the other way. MARAVICH and Hudson now pushing the tempo. Hudson dribbles down the left side of the court. He drops it off to MARAVICH, the trailer. MARAVICH has it go off his hands and out of bounds for yet another turnover. Unsuccessful fast break attempt there by Atlanta. Gives the ball back to Kansas City. As the Kings now work it to the low block to Williams, posting up on Washington, and Williams loses it out of bounds. Boy, the turnover struggles continue for both these teams. And that's probably a reason why both these teams are in the middle of the pack in the NBA and struggling for perhaps an opportunity at promotion, perhaps not. Atlanta basketball in the hands of Hudson. Hudson works it into the lane against Siebert and drains the point-blank shot from the block. It is now a 16-point lead for the Hawks, 47-31. Dick Gibbs with the basketball now for Atlanta. He is going to look to get it inside to Lacey. They can't get it to Lacey. Instead, they get it to Williams. Williams dribbles into the paint and has his pocket picked by Pete Maravich. First steal of the night for Maravich. He's in the top 5 in the league in that category. Maravich in transition buries the jump shot. He was the first man to get back, saw the opening, and converted. And Atlanta is now on top, 49-31. Excuse me. A little dry throat here at the announcer's desk. Kansas City looking to do anything they can to get back into this game. Archibald having a rough time of it against Maravich tonight. Finally, he gets around Maravich, goes to the left hand, lays it up and good. They need a lot more of that to get back into this ball game, as it's still a 16-point deficit with 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Gilliam with an open look from the outside. Turns down the shot and tries to get it to Maravich. Once again, bad pass. Once again, another turnover, as these teams are turning it over at a breakneck pace. Here's Archibald with it, once again guarded by Maravich. Archibald got the better of this matchup on the last occasion. He's going to try again to get into the lane. He's cut off by Hudson this time. His shot is off the back iron, no good. And it is Maravich coming out of the crowd with the rebound for Atlanta. Here's Maravich fighting the double team the other way. He buries another one. Boy, that's twice now that Maravich has just come down and put one home, and he is dominating this game in the second period. He leads all scorers with 14, as the Hawks have opened up their biggest lead of the night, 51-33. 2.5 minutes to play in the second period. Archibald this time from the outside. His shot is offline, and it is George Trapp who comes in and takes the rebound for Atlanta. Hawks looking to go up 20 on this possession. Maravich dueling again with Archibald. Maravich looks to get into the lane. Drops it off to Hudson inside. Hudson with a little finger roll. That's off target. Here's George Trapp with the offensive rebound for Atlanta. Trapp on the putback attempt, goes to the right hand and scores.
George Trapp.
And with 2 minutes to play here in the first half, it is once again a 20-point, or it is for the first time a 20-point lead for the Hawks. 53-33. The Kansas City offense has gone dead here in the second period. They look inside to Williams. The little teardrop by Williams is good. And finally, the Kings are able to put an end to the scoring drought. Hawks quickly back the other way to the offense. Maravich looks to distribute. Can't find a teammate. Instead, pulls the trigger from the top of the key. He scores again. He has hit 5 straight. He's on fire, and the Hawks are back on top by 20. 55-33, or 55-35. 16 big points here for Maravich in the first half. Kings back to the offense. They've got it to Kojis on the perimeter. Guarded closely by Maravich. Kojis can't get the shot to go. Ron Riley takes the offensive rebound for Kansas City. The putback attempt by Riley is short. Riley taps the rebound back to himself. Riley again with the putback. This time has it stolen away by Hudson for Atlanta. You can't fault the effort on that one, but Riley didn't get the results. And Atlanta has the basketball and a 20-point lead. Maravich, pick and roll. Drops it off to Trapp on the low block. The short jump shot by Trapp is good. Maravich with 16 points, and that is now his first assist of the night. And Atlanta on top by 22, 57-35, as we enter the final minute of play here in the second period. The ball goes inside to Kojis. He's got Lou Hudson all over him. Sends it out to Gukas. Gukas drives the lane. His shot is off target. And Maravich with yet another rebound for the Hawks. 55 seconds to play in the half. Hawks with the basketball now. They dump it inside to Eddie Mast in the ball game. Eddie Mast out of Temple, seeing his first action of the night. He puts one up from the baseline. That's no good. And Ron Riley takes down the rebound for Kansas City. Kings run the offense over to Gukas. Gukas back to Archibald. Has it stolen by Maravich. And the Hawks have a 3-on-1 going the other way. Maravich has Hudson and Trapp on the wings. Will he go coast to coast? He drives it into the right hand. His layup is no good. But he is fouled on the play by Matty Gukas. And that will send Pete Maravich to the free throw line for Atlanta with 25 seconds to play in the first half. As we say hello to Stuart Needle in the chat room. My feed has gone out of focus. Goodness, I don't know how to focus my feed. Any of you YouTube gurus in the chat room able to give me some advice here, or let me know if my feed is indeed out of focus and if there's anything that can be done about that. Pete Maravich steps to the line. Hawks are in the bonus. He'll get 3 to make 2. The first shot is around the rim and out. Second shot for Maravich is up and good. Maravich now with the bonus. And he hits another one. And it is now 17. Make that 18 points for Pete Maravich on the night. And the Hawks have a commanding 24-point lead as the Kings set up for another possession here as the first half winds to a close. Gibbs now at the point guard. He's got Maravich all over him. He's going to look for help. Motion offense around him. The help comes with Kojis on the outside. He's going to have to pull the trigger with just 1 second to go. He can't get the shot off, and that is the end of the first half.
Kansas City-OMAHA 35.
Let's take a look at our halftime box score. As Atlanta just rolled up on Kansas City in that second period to a 31-17 scoring differential to go up by a 24-point lead here. And the problem with both these teams is the turnovers. 14 turnovers for Kansas City to 12 for Atlanta. Atlanta really shooting the basketball quite nicely. 57% from the field. And if you're going to turn the ball over 12 times and still put up 59 points in the half, those are some pretty good shooting numbers. Maravich, of course, is the main man with 18 points, a couple of steals, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, and those 5 turnovers. 9 points apiece for his backcourt mates, Herb Gilliam and Sweet Lou Hudson. 9 points also for Bellamy to go with 7 rebounds. So Maravich getting a lot of help from his supporting cast. The same cannot be said for the Kings, as Nate Archibald is trying his best to make things happen. He's got 8 points, 7 assists, but also 7 turnovers, and shooting only 4 of 12 on the night. So Maravich definitely getting the better of this matchup, as the Hawks are getting the better of the scoreboard. As Archibald with 8, a couple of members of the Kings with 6, Nate Williams and Riley and Siebert each with 6 points. But really a tough night all around for the Kings. All right, As we get ready for the second half, I promised you updates from around the Epic Sports universe. We talked a little bit about the Midwest Basketball League and the off-season activities that took place there. Also, I have been working on a group replay of the 1995 baseball season. I managed both the Cincinnati Reds and the Texas Rangers as part of the Historical Baseball Project, which is a great project of continuous retro league. We just take the regular rosters and we play through season by season, and there's over 50 seasons worth of data accumulated in the Historical Baseball Project, and we are now working on 1995. I am pleased to report that both my Reds and my Rangers earned wild card berths. The Rangers knocked off the Boston Red Sox in the American League Division Series, but the Rangers fell to the Cleveland Indians in 5 games in the ALCS, and it will be the Indians who are heading to the 1995 World Series as the American League representatives. They will face my Cincinnati Reds in the World Series. The Reds pulled the upset over the Atlanta Braves in the National League Division Series. Now, in real life in 1995, that was one of my most disappointing seasons as a baseball fan, as the high-flying Reds had a great season in 95. Barry Larkin was the MVP. They had a young Reggie Sanders who was just tearing the cover off the ball. In real life, the 95 Reds swept the LA Dodgers in the NL Division Series. But then in the NL Championship Series, they went up against the famous 95 Atlanta Braves with Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddox. And Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddox just ripped up the Reds, swept the Reds 4-0. Reggie Sanders in that series was 2 for 16 with 10 strikeouts. That was in real life. In the Historical Baseball Project, using Stratomatic computer version of the software, the Reds and Braves faced off in the division series, and it was the Reds winning that one in a thrilling 5-game series, taking the Reds to LA for the championship series. That series went 7 games, and the Reds won Game 7 of that series after the Reds fell behind 3-1 in the series, came back to win Game 5. They won Game 6 in 13 innings on a home run by Barry Larkin in the top of the 13th, and won Game 7 by the final score of 7-2 to head to the World Series. And sometime this weekend, I will play Games 1 and 2 of the 1995 World Series with my beloved Reds hosting the Cleveland Indians. Also on New Year's Eve, we had the Buckeye Bowl in Heartland Championship Wrestling, which is the my equivalent of the Royal Rumble, and we'll talk about that at the end of the third quarter. Now we're going to head back to action in the Epic Basketball League in what has really become a one-sided contest, as Pete Maravich dominating this game for the Atlanta Hawks. They've got a 24-point lead on Kansas City as we head into quarter number 3. And as we crack open another Diet Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda Zero Sugar to keep the vocal cords moist for half number 2 of this basketball game. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. It's good to be back on the air. We don't have the best game, but it's always a good time to have so many good people in the chat representing so many fine YouTube channels, including our Red Sox fan Dave Gardner. We had Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming in the chat earlier, as well as Danny and Gray's Cards and Toys, all wonderful channels. I don't know if Smelly Wrestling Geek or Stuart Neal or Highlight have YouTube channels, but if you do, feel free to promote those here in the chat. And on the if you're members of the Sports Simulations and Replays Facebook group. Also promote your projects and your YouTube channels there as well. As we enter into half number 2, we'll see if the Kings can make a game out of it here as we open the third quarter. And once again, it is Atlanta winning the tip. Ball goes to Hudson on the wing. Hudson with a quick shot over the double team. It's off the back iron, no good, but we've got a whistle and no foul on the shot, but on the rebound, another foul is called on Johnny Green. And after just 7 seconds of action here in the third period, Green is going to have to go back into the bench in foul trouble as he has picked up his 4th. For shame, for shame, for shame. Atlanta will get possession of the basketball once again. This time they look inside to Bellamy. Bellamy over the double team, shot no good, and he is fouled by Lacey.
Foul is on Lacey.
So 15 seconds into the second half, Kansas City has already committed 2 personal fouls. And Atlanta will once again head to the free throw line, and Coach Bob Cousy is beside himself. As actually this will be a side out, but the foul totals are now 13-4, and the free throw differential 16-1 in favor of the Hawks, and that, as much as anything, has allowed them to build up this massive 24-point lead. Here's Washington to inbound, setting up the offense. It goes to Hudson working inside against Don Kogis now in the game. The short jumper by Hudson is off target. Nate Williams got a piece of that one. Lacey takes the rebound for Kansas City, and Maravich picks his pocket. Atlanta with yet another possession. Gilliam this time from the outside. Sends it back over to Maravich, and Maravich is called for the charge. Second foul on Maravich. And finally, after 50 seconds, we move to the other end of the court, and Kansas City will have their first possession of the period. Inside they go to Lacey. Lacey working on Bellamy on the low block. His short jump shot is off the iron, no good. And the rebound is taken by Gilliam for Atlanta. Atlanta back the other way. Gilliam has it on the outside. Comes off a screen. Gets an open look. From 16 feet out, he drills it.
Herm Gilliam.
Good looking shot by Herm Gilliam. He's now got 11. And the lead is up to 26. 61-35. That's a lot of math to do on a Friday night. Kansas City with the basketball. They get it inside to Kogis. He's trapped. Sends it back to Archibald at the free throw line. Archibald steps around Maravich, gets into the lane, lays it up, and good. Archibald goes down, wants a whistle, doesn't get one. And that doesn't improve Bob Cousy's mood a little bit, as Bob Cousy informs the referee that fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life. It's a 24-point game. And Atlanta has the basketball. Inside they go again to Bellamy. Guarded tightly down there by Lacey. The shot by Bellamy spins around and out. Jim Washington with the offensive rebound for Atlanta. And Washington has it tipped away and stolen by Don Kogis. Kings basketball. 10 minutes to play in the third. Pass goes inside to Lacey. Lacey down low, guarded by Hudson on a mismatch. Cannot get the shot to go, but he is hit on the arm and fouled by Bellamy. And that will send Lacey to the free throw line for the Kings, as a mock cheer comes from Bob Cousy. And I tell you, Bob Cousy is working those refs. I wouldn't be surprised if he got teed up by the end of this ball game. Lacey steps to the free throw line. 71% free throw shooter. Hits the first.
Lacey made the free throw.
The second free throw by Lacey is good.
Lacey made the free throw.
Lacey now with 6 points on the night. Atlanta sets up the offense. Still with a comfortable lead. 61-39. They've got Hudson free for a look from the outside. He turns away the jump shot. Tries to find Washington, but it threw him behind him, and that's another turnover. 15 turnovers apiece in this ball game now. Kings set up the offense. They've got it in the hands of Archibald. Archibald over to Williams on the baseline. The perimeter jump shot from Williams is good.
Williams.
Nothing but net for Williams. And it is back to a 20-point lead. No time to panic. It's early in the third period, and if Kansas City can get this down to 10 or 12 points by the end of the third period and make a game of it in the fourth, at that point anything can happen. Atlanta just needs to put their foot on the collective throats of the Kings and not let them crawl back into the contest. Here's Maravich with it out on top, guarded by Kogis. He's going to call his own number with the outside jump shot. That is off the iron, no good. Rebound taken by Sam Lacey for Kansas City. They get it to Lacey down low on the block, working on Bellamy. The shot by Lacey is no good, and Jim Washington takes the rebound for the Hawks. Hawks now looking to attack. The open man for Atlanta is Gilliam from the outside. Has it poked away and stolen by Archibald. Nice defense by Nate Archibald to pick up the steal. Archibald brings the Kings back. Sends it over to Gukas on the outside. Gukas comes off a screen. Has an open look and scores it.
Kiwakas.
Slick assist by Archibald to find Gukas coming off the screen and set up that basket. That is 4 points on the night for Matty Gukas. Gukas also had a head coaching career in the NBA later in life. Here's Maravich with it for Atlanta. This time he's just going to take Archibald right down the lane, laid it up and good with the left hand. Nicely done by Maravich. He's got 20 points now. And the lead is back to 20 for the Hawks. Kings work it down to the low block to Williams. Williams gets into the lane, lays it up off glass and good. An amazing no-look pass by Archibald. That is 10 points and 9 assists now for Nate Archibald. As the excitement level is picking up, we're under 8 minutes to play in the third. Atlanta still on top comfortably with an 18-point bulge. Maravich now has it on the outside, working out there against Archibald. Maravich dumps it inside to Bellamy for the short jump shot. That's off iron. Maravich takes the rebound, and Maravich is going to reset the offense. They send it over to Gilliam on the wing. Guarded closely by Gukas. Gilliam pulls the trigger and scores it.
Herm Gilliam.
Nothing but the bottom of the net for Herm Gilliam. He's got 13, and the Atlanta lead is back to 20. Gukas now has the ball out on top. Guarded by Maravich on the switch. Going to try and dump it inside. They get it to Kogis in the low block. It's tipped away by Washington, picked up by Williams and stolen away by Washington. Now the Hawks are going to run the other way as Washington is streaking down the right-hand side of the floor. He gets it to Maravich in the middle, back to Washington, and Washington cannot make the layup. Washington missed the layup. Nate Williams hustled back to get the rebound, but he's got it taken away by Gilliam, and the Hawks are back in possession with just over 7 minutes to play in the third. Hawks on top by 20. Here's an inside look for Hudson. His shot is off target. Washington with the offensive rebound for the Hawks. Washington on the putback attempt over Williams and scores it.
Jim Washington.
That's now 8 points, 6 rebounds for Washington. The lead is back to 22. Here's another outside look for Gukas. Tries to dribble to his right. Gilliam reaches in and steals it again. That's now 18 turnovers for Kansas City. And credit the Atlanta defense on that one. Atlanta pushes it down inside to Bellamy again. Bellamy over the double team, shot no good, but he's fouled by Nate Williams. And Bellamy will shoot
Foul
two.
is on Williams, his first, third team.
2 shots for Bellamy. First shot is no good. That makes him, I believe, 1 for 3 from the line tonight. And make it now 2 for 4.
Bellamy hit the free throw.
as he hits the second of two, and that makes it a 23-point game, 68-45. Inside, the Kings go to Lacey. Lacey working on Bellamy from in close, shoots and scores. Give the assist to Archibald. He's now got a double-double, 10 points and 10 assists. 68-47 is your score, midway through period number 3. Atlanta with the basketball. It's Gilliam. Gilliam working on Gukas. And has it picked away and stolen by Archibald. Kings now with a 4-on-2 coming back the other way. Make it 4-on-3 as Washington hustles back. Gukas has the ball at the free throw line. Sends it over to Archibald. Archibald lays it up and good.
Archibald.
Kansas City had some success in the transition game in the first period, but they just haven't been able to run consistently enough to make this game competitive. They still trail by 19. We're under 6 minutes to play. Maravich has the basketball guarded by Kojis, and Maravich wants to attack from the outside. Gets into the lane, tries to touch pass it over to Gilliam. That's out of bounds, and that's a turnover. Ball goes back over to Kansas City. Back in for Kansas City comes Siebert, as the Kings look to set things up on the offense once again. Hey there, ID Jester. How's it going, sir? Good to see you here on a Friday night in the Dave Cave. Not much of a ball game here as PETE Maravich and the Atlanta Hawks are dominating this one, but a lively chat session, so we're glad to have you join us here. Kansas City with the basketball trailing by 19 points. They get it inside to Lacey. Lacey has been doing his best against Bellamy in there. Lacey from 5 feet out is off iron, no good, and Bellamy takes the rebound. Atlanta basketball now with Maravich. Maravich and Archibald going at it. Maravich pulls the trigger from way outside. That's no good. Forced it up, and the rebound taken down by Nate Archibald for Kansas City. Back come the Kings. They've got it on the outside with Siebert. No place to go. They send it to Archibald on the wing. Archibald bobbled it, picked it up, lost it again. It's picked up by Maravich. Another steal by Maravich. That is his 5th. 4-on-3 going the other way. Gilliam on the wing. Sends it back to Maravich in the middle. His finger roll is no good, but Gukas got him on the arm, and that will send Pistol Pete Maravich back to the free throw line for 2 shots. Maravich, an 80% free throw shooter on the regular season in the NBA. He connects on the first. A couple of substitutions into the game for Kansas City as Maravich sets up for number 2 and converts.
Maravich made
22 points now for Pistol Pete, and the lead is back up to 21. The score is 70-49 with 5 minutes to play in the third. Here's Archibald facing off against Maravich. Bellamy comes out on the double team, and it is Bellamy who is called for the reach-in on Archibald.
Third personal, second team foul.
Only the second foul of the quarter on Atlanta, so Kansas City will have a side out. Riley to inbound. And it is Riley who sends it to Seibert out on top. Seibert working on Bellamy out there. Spin move into the lane. Goes to the left hand. The layup is around the rim and off. But Seibert is fouled on the play by Washington. And that will send
his first 13
Sam Seibert to the free throw line. Very aggressive move to the hoop by Seibert to earn the free throw attempts here. Seibert, also an 80% free throw shooter, scores the first. Limited minutes, but a very solid performance by this by this rookie out of
Siebert
Kentucky
made the free
State.
throw.
As Seibert knocks down both the free throws, he's now got 8 points on the night. And the Hawks still lead 70-51. 4.5 minutes to play in the third. Bellamy with it on the outside. Too far away to do any damage. Tries to get it into Hudson. Hudson with the 10-footer won't go. Offensive board goes into the hands of Big Jim Washington. Washington on the putback attempt. His short jump shot is good. Jim Washington now in double digits with 10. He is the fourth Hawks player to achieve that distinction. 21-point game as we approach the 4-minute mark of the third. Here's Archibald aggressively going to the hoop. Sees the opening and drives, and he's called for the charge. So Nate Archibald's night not getting any better. Despite the 10 assists, he's had a lot of turnovers and now picks up the offensive foul, his first of the night. Atlanta back on the basketball, leading by 21 points, under 4 minutes to play in the third. The open man for the Hawks is Hudson. Hudson down low over Seibert shoots and scores. He's got 11 points. Not quite up to his average, but I don't think he minds on a night where his team has run away with a very big lead here and a comfortable margin late in the third period. Here's Sam Lacey getting open on the other end. He scores one over Bellamy, and that's 10 points for Lacey. 74-53 now is your score. 3.5 minutes to play as Maravich looks to distribute. He finds Hudson on the inside. Hudson with the shot from in the paint. He is blocked. Seibert got a piece of that one. It bounces around. Maravich takes it, sends it back out to Gilliam, and Atlanta will reset. Gilliam has it on the outside. He's going to pull the trigger from 14 feet out and cannot get it off before the shot clock expires. And the ball goes back over to Kansas City. Substitutions for both teams. In for Kansas City is the rookie Mike Ratliff, a neighbor of mine from Wisconsin, Eau Claire. Kansas City actually has two rookies from Wisconsin, Eau Claire. Mike Radcliffe, who's seen a couple of tours of duty here in this ball game. Frank Shade, who has not seen action. He is a backup point guard on the Kings. And Frank Shade earned his fame in Wisconsin basketball. Only played one season, I believe, in the NBA. Came back to Wisconsin and became a legendary high school coach, compiling over 600 wins in Wisconsin high school basketball history. Out of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. The University of Wisconsin system is rather unique. UW-Madison, where I live, is the main hub of the University of Wisconsin system, and of course a member of the Big Ten. But then around the state, you've got a variety of schools in the UW system. Whitewater is one, Stevens Point is one, Green Bay has one, Oshkosh and Eau Claire, among other places. And in fact, there are enough University of Wisconsin basketball teams that they have their own little league of their own in Division III. So Madison is Division I, Milwaukee is Division I, Green Bay is Division I, and then you've got about 8 other UW branches around the state that have their own little basketball league that they have just within the state limits. So anyhow, back to action. 3 minutes to play. Atlanta still up by 21 here in the third quarter as Nate Archibald sets up the Kings offense. Working now against Washington out there on top. Archibald lets fly from the top of the key and scores. Archibald got open and converted that opportunity. We're under 3 minutes to play in the third, and Kansas City has been unsuccessful in cutting into the comfortable Atlanta lead. Here's an open look for Lou Hudson for the Hawks from the outside. He can't connect on that. And the rebound is taken down by Mike Ratliff. The Ratliff is whistled for a loose ball foul on that exchange, which will put him in the scorebook for the night. The ball remains in the hands of the Hawks. Hawks with the basketball in a 19-point lead. Once again, they get an outside look for Hudson. Once again, he cannot get it to fall. And this time it is Ron Riley with the rebound for Kansas City. Kings want to run. It's Archibald dribbling down the center of the court. Gets it over to Nate Williams on the wing. Williams back to Archibald. Archibald is called for another offensive foul. How about that? And now we've got basketball dad jokes in the chat room. Thank you, Highlight Heyday. He will be here all week, sharing his brand of humor, such as it is. Meanwhile, nothing humorous at all is happening for the Kansas City Kings. Here's George Trapp, unable to get a shot off for Atlanta before the shot clock expires. And with 2 minutes to play in the third, the ball goes back over to Kansas City. Into the game for Atlanta is John Shogel, rookie out of UC Santa Barbara, seeing his first action of the night. And Frank Shade, the aforementioned Frank Shade, into the game for Kansas City. Here's Seibert. Seibert with the ball on the inside for Kansas City, defended by Shogel, and it is Seibert who's called for the offensive foul. Back and forth we go. And now Action PC is going to start doing goofy stuff. They just took 4 guys out and put the same 4 guys right back into the ball game. As Maravich sets up the offense. It's in the hands of Bellamy, out away from the basket. They swing it around to Gilliam. Gilliam inside to Trapp, and Trapp has it stolen away by Kogis. Kogis on the steal for the Kings. Atlanta quickly back in transition to deny the Kings a fast break opportunity, and instead they will set up the offense with Frank Shade now taking his first shot of the night. That's off the iron, no good. The ball is knocked out of bounds on the scrum for the rebound, and the referees point the other way. Atlanta basketball. Minute 19 to play in the third. A lot of offensive fouls so far, observes ID Jester. And here are the Hawks with the basketball, setting up to play with a minute 12 to go. Hudson has a look on the inside, steps around Nate Williams for the layup and scores that one. He's now got 13 for Atlanta. Kings come back now in the final minute of play in the third. Nate Williams with a look from the baseline, shoots over Hudson, and his jump shot is offline. Rebound rolls around the rim and is taken down by Maravich. 7 rebounds for Pete Maravich tonight. How about that, to go with those 22 points, only 1 assist. Once again, they get it inside to Hudson. Hudson with a leaner around Nate Williams scores it again. Hudson heating up here in the third quarter, just when the Hawks need it the most. Or maybe not. It's now a 23-point game. And now it is Kogis with 30 seconds to play. Kogis with an outside look. Working on Herm Gilliam out there, and Kogis scores it.
Kogis.
His first basket of the night. Another assist for Nate Archibald. He has got 11, and that's right on target with his league-leading average. Here's an inside look for Jim Washington for the Hawks. Working down low against Riley. Fakes to his right, turns to his left, shoots and scores. And now we've got all 5 Atlanta starters in double digits. As Washington picks up point number 12. Only 9 seconds to play. in the third period as the Kings will play for the final shot. It comes from Archibald, and he buries it. Nicely done by Archibald. We'll see if Atlanta can make anything happen with 5 seconds to play. Hudson at the buzzer, no good. And that is the end of the third period.
Atlanta 80, Kansas City Omaha 59.
And let's take you to the third quarter box score, with Atlanta on top now by 21. Kansas City actually outscored the Hawks in that third period, but only by 3 points, not nearly enough to make up for the hole that they dug themselves in the first half. For Kansas City, you've got a triple-double of infamy for Nate Archibald, as he's got 16 points and 11 assists, but also 10 turnovers. I don't think that counts as a triple-double in the record books. Nate Williams with 10 points, but also 6 turnovers. Also Lacey, 10 points, 8 boards, probably the most consistent performer of the night for the Kings, as they continue to trail by a large margin. Free throw difference is 20-5, so 15-point advantage on the charity stripe for the Hawks. But also just the better overall rebounding and the better overall performance on the field goal percentage for Atlanta has powered them out to this lead. PETE MARAVICH, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 steals. Also Gilliam with 13 points and 5 steals, as the Hawks defense has really locked it down on the perimeter and been a great source of frustration for Nate Archibald here tonight. Also for the Hawks, Hudson with 15, 13 for Gilliam, 12 for Washington, 10 for Bellamy to go with 8 rebounds. All right, that is your box score. Before we head back to action, we'll give you a brief update on Heartland Championship Wrestling. New Year's Eve, as I mentioned, was the Buckeye Bowl, which is my 30-man Royal Rumble style match, which actually takes about 6 hours to play. My wife worked New Year's Eve, and so I just spent the evening playing the Buckeye Bowl, which was won by entry number 30, the one and only Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is your Buckeye Bowl winner for 2022, and that could potentially earn him a title match against NWA World Champion Vader. But as you followed the drama and the politics of the Heartland Championship Wrestling, the territory which Kurt Angle represents is Patriot Championship Wrestling up in the Northeast. It is a new territory, and they have not yet signed on with the NWA, and so until that happens, we're not going to see a World Championship match for Kurt Angle against Vader. We still don't know who's in charge in the Patriot Championship Wrestling, and until that money man is revealed and the contracts are signed, we will still wait for Kurt Angle to get his shot at Vader for the World Heavyweight Championship. Tomorrow night, live on the channel, Kurt Angle will defend the Patriot Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title, the territory title, against Bob Backlund, and that should be a classic technical matchup between two of the finest grapplers that the sport of wrestling has ever seen. Backlund, of course, a technical whiz and a very famous amateur wrestler. And Kurt Angle, as you all know, won 2 Olympic gold medals in unison with a broken freaking neck, as he is so fond of saying. And now we're starting to lose our audience as Al Red Sox fan headed to bed, Dave Gardner headed to bed. Good night to all. We'll get back to action here in beginning quarter number 4, with the Hawks still enjoying a comfortable lead, 21 points. 80-59. One other thing I wanted to do before we get started here in the fourth period, as we set the lineups. Supposedly there is a ticker, but when I access the ticker, I'm told that the scores of other games are not available. So I don't know what's up with that. So we'll go back over to the team stats. And for the first time tonight, the opening tip-off of the period is controlled by Kansas City, and the Kings will have the first possession of the period. It's Kogis. Kogis on the out. Oh, and he got hit on the head. He is leaving the game with a concussion, but he should return. They didn't treat concussions the same back in the 70s as they do now. Kogis took a head bonk and left the game, but he'll be back as Matt Gukas comes in to take the place of Kogis. A concussion and no foul, points out Kings coach Bob Cousy from the sidelines. How do you get a concussion and not get fouled? It is now Kansas City basketball. They get it into Riley working on the low block. Riley rises up over Trapp and scores. And that is his 8th point of the night. Atlanta comes back the other way. It's once again in the hands of Maravich. Maravich, top of the key, takes the jump shot and buries it.
PETE MARAVICH.
24 for Maravich. Kings come back the other way. Once again, they go inside to Riley. This time Riley has it knocked away, and he tries to pick it up, fumbles it out of bounds. Kansas City Omaha will keep possession as it was last touched by Trapp from Atlanta. Here's an outside look now for Gukas, and he gets it off just before the shot clock goes off and buries it. Give another assist to Archibald. Nicely set up. And another basket for the Kings. They still trail by 19. Maravich now steps into the lane, gets around Riley, lays it up with the left hand, and good. Maravich doing whatever he wants on the offensive side now. He's got 26. Back comes Kansas City. Archibald says, whatever you can do, I can do. He drives into the lane. His little layup is good. Archibald now with 18. 84-65. Still a 19-point game as the teams trade baskets here at the beginning of the 4th period. Here's Maravich from the free throw line now over Archibald. He scores again.
PETE MARAVICH.
Got that one around the rim and dropped. Maravich with 28. Back come the Kings. This time Archibald looks to distribute. Can't find anybody. His fall away jump shot is good. He has hit 6 in a row. This is the type of action back and forth we wanted to see between Archibald and Maravich. Unfortunately, it's happening in the 4th period of a 20-point blowout. Here's Atlanta back. They go inside to Trapp on the low post. Trapp rises up over Ron Riley, shoots and scores. That's 5 straight for George Trapp. He now has double digits for Atlanta. Kings back on the offense with Archibald. This time Archibald is going to pull the trigger from the wing. His jump shot is off the rim, no good. Well defended by Maravich. Maravich steps into the lane and takes the rebound. Atlanta now has it in the open court. Maravich dribbling down the center of the floor. Those short shorts and those floppy socks. His trademark is he drives around to the right, lays it up, and good. He has got 30 points on the night. And the lead is now 23, 90-67. Just over 9 to play in the 4th. Here's Archibald driving into the basket. His little kiss is up and good. He's got 22. Back and forth we go, trading baskets as fast as they can get from one end of the court to the other. Here's an open look for Lou Hudson, and he scores it from 15. 17 points now for Hudson on the night. We're under 9 minutes to play. It's a 23-point game. Archibald with it now at the free throw line extended. Looking to distribute this time. Defended by Maravich. Can't find an open teammate. Takes the jump shot, scores it, and he is hit on the elbow by Maravich. Boy, Archibald and Maravich both just grinning from ear to ear. They're having the time of their lives. This game has long since been decided, and they're just going to put on a show. As Archibald steps to the free throw line, he converts the three-point play. He's now got 25 points and 12 assists on the night, compared to 30 points for Maravich. But on the scoreboard, it is all Atlanta, as they're still up by 20 with 8.5 minutes to play in this one. Atlanta comes back with another open look for Trapp in the low post. Trapp steps around Riley, missed that one. Couldn't get the foul called. Ratliff takes the rebound for the Kings. Quick outlet to Archibald. Archibald wants to run. Maravich is chasing him. They dump it to Gukas on the wing. Gukas back to Archibald. Archibald steps into the lane. Shot no good. Tipped around by Ratliff. Back to Archibald. And finally, Archibald slows things down and resets the offense. Boy, this fourth quarter, the first 4 minutes of this fourth quarter have been more entertaining than anything else we've seen here tonight. Now they've got Johnny Green open on the inside. Green working on Maravich, stops and takes the jump shot and scores it. Tough night for Johnny Green. He's now got 5 points. And you have to think that if he were able to stay on the court earlier in the game, this might have been a different outcome. But he has fought foul trouble all night long, and his backups have been largely ineffective. But the lead is now down to 18 on that shot by Johnny Green, as the Hawks come back the other way. This time it is Hudson working inside into the paint. Fakes, shoots, little jump shot, no good. But he is hit on the arm by Riley on the exchange, and it will be Lou Hudson going to the line for 2 free throws. 7:38 to play as Hudson steps to the line. First shot is around the rim and out. Hudson, as we mentioned earlier in the night, currently 5th in the league in scoring at 24.9 points per game. He's below that so far tonight, but if he hangs around long enough and picks up enough garbage points, that'll help his scoring average. Hudson misses both free throws. And a long rebound is taken by Eddie Mast, the former New York Knick, now into the game. Eddie Mast will send things back out to the top to reset the offense. They're going to look back inside to Mast. Can they find him on the low block? They get him open against Lacey, and Mast is called for the offensive foul. Fresh 5 for Atlanta, and a couple of substitutions for Kansas City. Maravich will take a rest along with his mates. They do have from the starting lineup Gilliam, Washington, and Bellamy in the game. And another rookie for Atlanta, Steve Bracey, is now running the point for the Hawks. And Nate Archibald is licking his lips as this rookie comes into the game. They dump it inside to Nate Williams on the low block. Williams defended by Washington. And Washington pulls the chair out from under him, and Williams travels. Good defense by Jim Williams on that possession. 7 minutes to play now. Atlanta still on top by 18. As now Steve Bracey sets up the offense. Outside with it is Schogel. Schogel sends it to Gilliam. Gilliam to Washington on the outside. And the Hawks can't get a shot off. That is a shot clock violation. And immediately Maravich and Hudson back into the ballgame. Cotton Fitzsimmons not at all happy with that offensive set. He's going to do a little coaching on the sidelines as action continues with 6.5 minutes to play. Here's Archibald on the outside, again picked up by Maravich. This time Archibald is going to drive. Maravich slips and falls, and Archibald lays it up and good.
Archibald.
Where the announcer said slipped and fell, I think Maravich just got faked out of his lingerie by Archibald on that play. Archibald now with 27 points, 13 assists. Gaudy numbers, a not so gaudy performance by his team. Atlanta now with it in the hands of Maravich. Anything you can do, I can do better. Maravich on the drive. Dumps it off to Washington. Gets it back. Shot by Maravich is good, and he is fouled on the play by Lacey.
Jim Washington scores.
Actually,
fourth personal, second team.
I looked at the chalkboard instead of the play-by-play. It was Washington who got the basket, and it is Washington with the opportunity at a three-point play. The foul is called on Lacey. And Jim Washington converts the three-point play. He's now got 15 points to go with 7 rebounds as the balanced scoring from Atlanta continues. The lead is still at 19. as we reach the midway point of the fourth period. And God bless the 4 people still hanging out and watching this one. Archibald with it on the outside against, Nate Williams with it on the baseline. Dribbles in down low, works his way into the lane against Washington, and has his pass picked off by Pistol Pete. 6 steals on the night now by Maravich. And the runtime error. Here comes the runtime error. We haven't seen too many of those this season, but we'll have to log out and log back in and restart the game. And we'll see what happens here. So we will resume the saved game. And that is okay, we are back. Maravich has it out on top with 5 minutes 45 seconds to go in this one. He sends it to Lou Hudson in the paint. What's Hudson going to do? The suspense is killing me. The shot clock is winding down. As finally Hudson shoots and scores.
Lou Hudson.
Give the assist to Maravich. And it is now 97-76. Approaching 5 minutes to play. Nate Williams with it on the outside. Shoots quickly. Cannot get it to fall. Jim Washington takes the rebound for Atlanta. Hawks with Maravich. Playing a 2-man game with Bellamy. Tries to get the lob into Bellamy. That's another bad pass out of bounds and another turnover. Is now into the game for the first time for Kansas City. We see Toby Kimball, the veteran out of Connecticut, journeyman, making his first appearance of the night. We are under 5 minutes to play. And it's still over a 20-point lead. Kansas City with the basketball. It's Archibald once again. What's he going to do this time? He's going to try that drive the lane thing again. This time Bellamy's there waiting for him. But Archibald pops and misses, and it is tipped in by Green. Off the glass. 7 points now for jumping Johnny Green. 4.5 to play. Here's Pistol Pete working on Archibald. Settles for the jump shot and scores it.
Pistol Pete.
A sensational night for Pistol Pete. He's got 32. Back the other way, it's in the hands of Archibald. This time Archibald is going to call his own number from the free throw line. Oh, and stripped away and stolen by Maravich. 7 steals on the night for Pistol Pete. And Atlanta wants to run. Maravich dribbling by himself to the left. Drops it off to Hudson. Back to Maravich. Maravich to the left hand, lays it up and scores.
Pete Maravich.
Maravich with the steal and with the layup. 34 points on the night now, and I believe that is number 7 steal for Maravich. And 8 rebounds as well. He is having a night. Here's an inside look for Toby Kimball just into the game. Off the glass, around the rim and out. Rebound taken by Jim Washington for the Hawks. Washington approaching a double-double. 15 points, 9 rebounds. Here's Maravich again. This time he will drive. And this time it is Archibald on the steal. 4 steals on the night for Nate Archibald, and Kansas City's going to go 4-on-1. Maravich, the last one back on the defense. The pass ahead to Matty Gukas. The reverse layup is good. Still a 20-point game, 101-80. With now 3 minutes left to play. Maravich is going to take the shot this time against Archibald. He shoots over the double team. This one is offline, and the rebound is taken by Toby Kimball for Kansas City. Here's Archibald at the top of the key, sending it over to Gukas, who can't hit from the baseline. Bellamy takes the rebound for Atlanta. That's his night. Atlanta basketball in the hands of Gilliam. Gilliam on the wing. 2.5 minutes to play. Sends it over to Maravich, and it's stolen by Archibald. How about Archibald with the steal? That is 5 steals for Archibald. Inside they go again to Kimball. Kimball works on Washington in the paint. Bellamy comes over to double team, and we've got a whistle and a foul that is called against
Foul is on
Bellamy.
4th personal, 2nd team.
Only the 2nd team foul of the quarter for Kansas City. As once again the fresh 5 for Atlanta comes in, all the backups. And let's see if Action PC will let these guys play it out. Looks like pretty much all backups on both sides of the court now. Kimball to inbound for Kansas City. As we approach 2 minutes to play, they get it outside to Seibert. Seibert looks back out on top for Shade. Shade with it on the outside. He drives to the hoop, and he's called for the offensive foul. Lucky thing there is a future in coaching for that man. Minute 38 to play. Inside, the Hawks go to Trapp. Trapp on the inside, defended by Kimball. Kimball steps around Trapp, lays it up, Trapp steps around Kimball, lays it up, and good. Give the assist on that one to the rookie Steve Bracey out of Tulsa. And Steve Bracey enters his name into the scorebook. 103-80 is your score. 1.5 to play. And the scoreboard announcer has just announced that if Kansas City is held to 80 points or less, everybody in Atlanta gets free chicken and waffles. So the fans are rooting for the Kings to fail on this possession. Kimball has it on the inside. Kimball working on Trapp in the lane. Uses a ball fake, rises it up and scores. And just like that, the fans are booing Toby Kimball for no fault of his own. He just scored a basket, and there will be no free chicken and waffles for fans of the Hawks here this evening. Which is a shame, because I've had some good chicken and waffles in my day in the city of Atlanta. I go down there on business from time to time. Here's Trapp on the outside, or a good look for Trapp on the outside. As we're into the final minute of play, the perimeter jump shot by Trapp is good.
George
Trapp off the bench now with 14 points. How about that? 6 Hawks in double digits here tonight in the Coliseum. Here's Frank Shade looking to make something happen. He's got it stolen by Bracey. Rookie on rookie. And the Hawks rookie from Tulsa got the better of that exchange. Bracey looks to set things up. 5 on the shot clock. They go into Trapp once again. Trapp on the inside wants to put the shot up. His layup is good. And that is 16 for George Trapp off the bench. 107-82. It is a 25-point ball game. Just 15 seconds left to play. The ball's in the hands of Riley. He doesn't know what to do with it outside. He sends it out to Dick Gibbs on the outside. Gibbs with a jump shot. He scores. 10 seconds left to play. The lead is 23 for the Hawks. The inbound pass for Wetzel is deflected out of bounds. Who's still playing defense in this game? 4 seconds left to play. As Bracey is just going to try and dribble the clock out if they let him. And that will be your ball game. My goodness. What a ball game we have seen in Atlanta. That fourth quarter was highly entertaining. Let's take a look at your box score for the night.
107, Kansas CITY-OMAHA 84.
Your final score, 107-84 in favor of the Hawks. A brilliant night by Pete Maravich. 34 points, 8 rebounds, 7 steals. But also 10 turnovers. He is your star of the game by far, but 6 Hawks in double figures on the game. 16 points off the bench by Trapp, Most of those were garbage time. Hudson also got it going in garbage time and finished with 19 for Atlanta, despite a subpar 7 for 19 shooting performance. Kansas City, as we anticipated, was Nate Archibald and not much else. Archibald with 27 points, 13 assists, but also 11 turnovers. 10 points apiece for Nate Williams and Sam Lacey. All right, tomorrow, sometime in the early evening, there will be Heartland Championship Wrestling on the channel. Come take a look as Kurt Angle and Bob Backlund battle over the the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. Sunday morning, My Journey with Jesus will be back as we finish off Luke chapter 12. So to highlight Heyday, Dave Gardner, Al Red Sox fan, I.D. Jester, always a privilege. Stuart Neal, Smelly Wrestling Geek, Philip Reynolds, Danny and Gray's Cards and Toys, Bleacher Bums Gaming. I don't know if I mentioned Philip Reynolds. Good crowd here in the chat. Hopefully you all enjoyed tonight's broadcast of a sometimes entertaining and not very competitive basketball game here from the 1972-73 Epic Basketball League. Once again, your final score, the homestanding Atlanta Hawks 107, the Kansas City Kings 84. And on behalf of everybody here at the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network, this is Dave Little signing off from the Dave Cave. That's our stream, and I am out of here.